This is really spectacular to see how far we've been able to come. And I think it all changed in 2005 when we really started to get together in partnership.
The partnership that Mars Symbioscience President Director Noel Janetsky is referring to is changing the face of farming among poor rural communities in Indonesia. The Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research, ACR, has established a number of research partnerships through which Australian expertise is used to help lift smallholder farm production and alleviate poverty. One initiative which is proving a great success in the cocoa growing region of Sulawesi is the multi-million-dollar Smallholder Agribusiness Development or SADI Programme. Funded by AusAid, SADI is putting in place three key elements: farm production, agribusiness development and community development or empowerment. It is drawing together strategic partnerships among research providers, farmers and their communities and private companies.
Essentially, the SADI model is like we are turning farmers from being subsistence farmers, like producing just the food for their homes, for their families, into farming as a business venture.
There are more than 500,000 smallholder farmers in Sulawesi who've made the island the third biggest cocoa producer in the world. Mars, the maker of confectionery, buys around 16% of Indonesia's cocoa.
The fact too that we are working in partnership with ASEAN provides a catalyst which attracts other people to work together in partnership. So as we work together in partnership developing the technologies, we're also able to attract other people to work in partnership to transfer those technologies to farmers, and with other people again, and with the government agencies, to find ways to empower farmers to be able to use those technologies, those solutions, and convert them into sustainable business opportunities.
Cocoa began growing in earnest in Sulawesi in the late 1980s and considerably lifted the fortunes of cocoa growing communities over the next 2 decades. But since early 2000, production has been hit hard by a build-up of pests and disease and deteriorating soil fertility, causing many farmers to lose heart and abandon their crops. However, through the ACR SADI program, new technologies and expertise are being delivered to farmers, giving them more control over the long-term sustainability of their cocoa production. Central to the rebuilding effort is the need for a large-scale cocoa genotype improvement program that can deliver to growers disease and pest-resistant seedlings that produce good quality cocoa that is also locally adapted. This involves farmers identifying superior individual plants in their area from which grafts can be taken for cloning onto rootstock. It is labour-intensive and requires farmers to be trained in cocoa selection and grafting techniques.
If cocoa farmers can get better income, high income, it means they will maintain their garden. It means they manage it. They will manage their garden. And then it will sustain the production of cocoa beans in Indonesia, and it will supply enough good cocoa beans to industry, to processing company in Indonesia.
Training and nursery establishment is now underway, boosted by the involvement of the main buyer for cocoa, Mars.
You need to develop, adapt the technology that provides the solutions, get the solutions into the hands of the people that need them, and then empower them and change the environment so that they're able to employ those solutions to create long-term sustainable solutions.
And he has very high hopes for the future.
By 10 years, we ought to have cocoa farmers that have high productivity, at least 1.5 to 2 tonnes per hectare. The farmers should be running a business and really understand they're running a business, and they should be managing the foundations of their business, the soil, the trees, the cocoa trees in particular, in a sustainable way, using farmer-based enterprises as the source of the inputs for that soil and tree management.
Meantime, the cocoa revival is exemplified by the jump in students studying cocoa cultivation and management at the local vocational school for agriculture. The number of first-year enrolments in cocoa studies has risen from 25 to 110 in 3 years. The school works closely with extension staff from Mars. Students have established almost 12,000 trees, which have become a source of superior genotypes for wider distribution. Through a translator, the principal says the students are more motivated and have a greater sense of self-pride as a result of being involved in the cocoa industry.
Dalam pengembangan ini tentunya kita development of the cocoa here is done by students, as you can see in the background, and the goal of this is that the students build their skills so that we hope that by the time they graduate from this school they have sufficient skills that they can work on their own in the cocoa industry and get jobs in the cocoa industry.
Student Adi Kao says he decided to study agriculture because it offers a rewarding career and cocoa promises economic security.
I think it's got a better future. And I said, can you explain why? He said, I think there's more guaranteed employment in agriculture in the future than in other vocations.
Adi and his classmates embody what programs like SADI have now set out to achieve. They come from traditional smallholder backgrounds but are enthusiastically grasping new knowledge and perspectives.
Mostly of them have land owned by his family. This is one of the technology transfer technique, and I believe it will be a success for the future because we start from the young kids. Yeah, it's easy to them to understand and then to distribute the idea to other farmers. Yeah.